Good afternoon, Master Tanaka. Good afternoon. We are the gathered fraternity. Always with great joy, we are bringing our presence to this house. We always come here with great joy to bring our energy to all those beings who are following our messages, who are seeing in them the truth of what your own life is, the truth in which your own life should be conducted. What you are considering as your lives, you have come to realize are only illusions. Illusions that you have created for yourself, to somehow living in what you consider to be comfort. But you see, this comfort that you all cling to, that you all rely on to judge whether your lives are good or not, are just illusions. This comfort is attached to all this consciousness of matter that you have attached yourself to. But when you cling to a matter consciousness, that matter consciousness imprisons you. Because from that point on, you begin to consider that everything you do is an obligation. Because it must generate a material result that is, I would say, within the standards of this collective consciousness. So, if you are outside those standards, you consider yourself totally incapable. But you see, the capacity that you must generate is a competence that you generate within yourself. It is not a competence that you generate to show other beings what you are capable of doing, what you are capable of acquiring. As long as you remain stuck in wanting to show off to other beings, you will not free yourselves from this collective consciousness that has always been running your lives. Because you yourselves, through the exercise of free will be directing your life to this path, to the path that the collective consciousness has determined to be the right one. But you see, within this collective consciousness, it is full of beliefs, conflicting beliefs, because within it there are beliefs of various beings, and all these beliefs, as they are conflicting. This collective consciousness is a consciousness of friction. It is a consciousness of antagonism. It is a consciousness of dispute, where everybody is always wanting to show others that they are better than they are. And you see, within God's truth, what prevails? What prevails is the only truth. It is the oneness among all beings, that all beings are equal, that they all possess the same divine essence. This is why, within the truth, it is not necessary for any being to be shown anything, because everyone recognizes that both his essence and that of his neighbor, it is the same. It is God's energy. It is the love that makes up the whole universe. That is where the recognition of God consciousness is. And that is what we are pointing out to you with every message we bring, so that you come out of this collective consciousness of having to acquire, of having to show, of having to compare, so that you consider yourselves to be great beings. But as long as you stay stuck in this collective consciousness of friction, you will never get the peace that is so needed in all of your lives, the peace you all wish to have for yourselves. As long as you are aiming only to satisfy the conditions that other people have for their lives, you will be in illusion. Because within the divine consciousness, there is not this question, this consciousness of having to satisfy another being. There is not this consciousness that you have to be accountable, that you have to give satisfaction to other beings. Everyone will be very conscious of what they are accomplishing in their lives when they are within God consciousness. Because in God consciousness, there is no concept of right and wrong. In God consciousness, everyone lives in peace, because they live in the concept of the Absolute. And in the concept of the Absolute, there is no doubt. There is no such thing as what you call beliefs that run your lives. There is only the energy of truth leading the lives of all who allow themselves to be led by it. So again, what is in charge of everything is your permission to accept our words. It is your permission to accept the guidance that we bring to all of you. It is from the moment you accept them as truth and really believe them, and so you begin to direct your lives through those truths. It is in this that is, I would say, even the origin of all this work that is being done here, through the channelings of these messages. So, as always, although you are often thinking that again we are telling you the same things, yes, because we are always pointing you to the same path, because the path of light is unique. The path of light is always inward. That's why we are always bringing you these messages, so that you understand more and more, internalize more and more that your path of light is within. It is the change that you will make within yourself. It is the recognition of all the changes you need to make within yourself to reach the energetic plateau necessary to be in high vibrations. For our goal, our purpose is to have all of you raise your energy, to have all of you recognize yourselves as beings of light, to see the equality between you and us who are here bringing you the messages. So again we ask you, step into your own being, step into that energy that makes up your being. Allow yourselves to recognize and think about working on your own changes. This is the great work that you all have to do, to make those inner transformations in your being and to realize what is really valuable in your life. Come to understand what really brings you the expansion of your being. That is what is important for each one of you. So, we here at United Brotherhood ask you to let go of everything. Let go of other beings. Because from the moment you are attached to these beings, you are imprisoned in them. And you want them to conduct your lives according to your will. But you see, each one must lead his or her own life. Each one has the right to conduct his or her own life. So, we here in the United Brotherhood ask all of you, because attachment is a constant practice in all beings. And beings deceive themselves, thinking that by generating attachment for another person, they are loving that person. So let go of this illusion and see that the loving act that you can have both for yourself and for your neighbor is to let go. So let go of these beings totally and release this factor called obligation from you. Release it from your being and release this other being also from this factor called obligation. Each being is free. Each being is free. So, with this consciousness you are acquiring, from now on, free all the beings to whom you are attached. Everyone deserves freedom. For freedom is a right of every being that was created. So you have no right to take away freedom, either yours or your neighbor's. Reflect on these words and follow our guidelines. For detachment is a predominant factor for you to enter your path of light. For as long as you remain attached, you yourself are closing the doors to your path of light. So, with this guidance, with these words, with much gratitude, with much love, I say goodbye. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.